Allah is my heart's speech, your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to a new episode of Ask Huda. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wal aqibatu lil muttaqeen, wa la udwana illa ala al-zalimin. والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأولين والآخرين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. Indeed, we are living the best time of the year, a beautiful month of Ramadan. And as everybody can tell, the time is zipping by extremely fast. Can you imagine? We started Ramadan last Friday, and today is already Wednesday. We have to pay attention to every moment that is going by without making a benefit out of it. Every day that passes by from our lives, we are running in minus. Al-Hasan al-Basri, may Allah have mercy on him, said, إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ أَيَّامٍ. He's saying that human beings are but days, number of days. If you were to live for 60, 70 or 80, more or less, that's days. إِذَا ذَهَبَ يَوْمٌ ذَهَبَ بَعْضُكَ. Whenever a day passes by, then some of you passed by. Some of you is gone. And the remaining part is, of course, getting lesser and lesser and lesser. So let's seize the opportunity of this blessed month and virtuous time to catch up with much good deeds, as much as we can. Reading the Quran. I know that some people have already finished the Quran once since the beginning of Ramadan in 5 days. They used to read 6 paras a day. And some already started in the second khatmah, second round of finishing the Quran. People who do not know how to read the Quran, they occupy themselves with the dhikr, saying Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wallahu akbar, wa la ilaha illallah, wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, and dua as well. And there are some smart people who know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doubles and multiplies the reward for the good deeds during Ramadan, so they give extra charity during Ramadan. They look for the masajid where they normally have a funeral prayer to attend. They examine and search for every door of goodness in order to enter paradise through it. May Allah make us amongst them. This is what we call it the high zeal, or ulul himmah. The person is very excited about doing what will please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, especially during this month when all the gates of paradise are open and the gates of fire are closed. And guess what? We normally blame a shaitan or Satan and his offspring for misleading us and for our misdoings. Well, most of Satans are chained, or the severe Satans are chained during Ramadan. وَصُفِّدَتِ الشَّيَاطِينَ. So there are means of righteousness and goodness everywhere around us, and means of tawbah and repentance everywhere around us, and means of competing towards entering paradise through the fasting, praying at night, praying Taraweeh, praying in congregation. I do believe that everybody, or the proper Muslims, understand that if I'm fasting, I have to control what I'm saying. So this attention that we pay to what we say, to what we do during Ramadan, is something very positive. If we can continue doing so after Ramadan, we will definitely be among the graduates of the school of fasting, and we will be, hopefully, inshaAllah, amongst al-muttaqeen, the righteous ones who achieved the ultimate goal behind the ordainment of fasting, which is لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. In order to be righteous, that's why we fast, that's why we pray, that's why we go for Hajj or do any act of worship. So let's help one another, brothers and sisters, by reminding one another to do what's good and to abstain from what's bad. in many cases, whenever I was teaching new Muslims reverts, even though they may have accepted Islam this year, and they started fasting. And I ask a typical question every year and to every person, okay, what do you benefit out of fasting? What did you benefit from Ramadan? The common answer was self-restraint. Self-restraint. If the person is able to stop eating and drinking the lawful food and the lawful drink, why? For the sake of Allah. Then it's a lot easier to restrain yourself from committing the haram. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shamail from the KSA. Assalamu alaikum, sister.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking.
I have two questions,
Naam.
very quick ones. First, yesterday I was watching your program and you mentioned regarding the supplication of each fasting person
Now,
will be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before Maghrib prayer. So I was like, what about us women who, especially like me, who can fast only maximum for 12 days during Ramadan? How can we avail this opportunity for the supplication to be accepted?
you said you can only fast for 12 days in Ramadan.
Yes, maximum, because I have some problem. Because,
Okay.
you know, when women have menstrual cycle, they cannot fast. So,
Okay.
For them...
But
it
not for
brings you
18 days.
Yes, very...
Okay, I understand you. Okay. There are special cases, of course, and I will answer your question.
But
You-
so I was like one lady, I was in tears and I tried to call you immediately. Like I do dua, I make a special effort to do dua, especially during Ramadan. So what about a person like me who is not fasting and want her supplications to be accepted as well? And it's not her fault that she has periods.
No.
So what she's supposed to do?
Yeah,
And
I
second-
perfectly understand you.
Okay. And second question is on first Ramadan, she explained to one per woman regarding the periods when she can make sure that she is pure or not. He mentioned two signs. One is some white discharge, and second was when she is completely dry. So for some women, the case is they are completely dry, but then again they have their cycle back. So can they fast like one day, or and they won't be, you know, like gaining sin for this?
That depends, Sister Shamail. If the period stopped earlier than it's supposed to be, like if a woman experiences her period for 6 days, 7 days, then on the 4th day the period is stopped, and she's seen the clear discharge or dried out. In this case, perform ghusl and go ahead and fast and pray. But a day later, the period resumed. In this case, this is the period. Why? Because it is within the same regular time. But if the 6 days are over and you see a bleeding afterward, this is an irregular bleeding and it shouldn't interrupt your fasting. Barakallah fikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister Aisha from Egypt. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Hello?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister Aisha, go ahead please.
Okay. Just a question about the niqab. I started wearing the niqab 2 weeks ago, and I've had people questioning it, saying it was only meant for the Prophet's wives. And also, I teach English, and I'm just wondering, I teach from children to adults, wondering what age do I have to cover my face?
Okay, you're talking about niqab.
Niqab, aywa.
Yeah, and aywa. You're talking about niqab and children. What age do you teach?
I teach from the age of 3 right up to the age of 40. So I teach all ages.
Okay, okay. Jazakumullah khairan, Sister Aisha. I got your question. Thank you so much. Ashhab from United Arab Emirates. Assalamu alaikum, Ashhab.
Wa alaikum assalam, Sheikh. Hello?
Yes, sister, I'm listening. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I called you on Sunday and I had asked a question, but I think due to a shortage of time you were not able to answer, and then I didn't get an answer yesterday either, so I'm repeating my question. The question was that I have this problem that I get the show of a period 2 days before, maybe sometimes 4 days before, and then after 4 days the actual bleeding starts, or after 2 days the actual bleeding starts. So what should I do in the meantime, in between the 2 days? Like if after the first show on the tissue nothing happened for 2 days, should I still continue with my fast and namaz and then stop once the proper bleeding starts, or should I consider the show as the period?
Now, okay, with regards to the period again, and during the month of Ramadan, especially in Hajj season, we get showers of questions pertaining the period, and this is perfectly understood. Women are very keen to worship and offer their ibadah during the state of tahara, and many of them are confused, so this is understood. If the period starts at a certain time, then 1 month started a little earlier, and you recognized the same symptoms and characteristics of the blood, that it is the same like of the period, then it is the period.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
Okay, after you hang up, inshallah, you'll be able to hear me better from your TV set, inshallah.
Okay. But could you please answer it today, now only?
I'm answering right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Barakallahu feek.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Again, I'm going to start over. If a woman has the period that starts at Saturday, for instance, the 15th of every month, for instance, let's not talk about the days, rather the dates. Then on the 13th, she started experiencing the bleeding. Every woman can tell whether that bleeding have the same characteristics of the period or not, via the color and the smell. So if this is the case, and if it is continuous, without interruption, then these 2 days are also counted as a period. Likewise, if the period lasts longer than it used to be, that's normal, because the period may vary. Sometimes some women are blessed, they have the period only for 4 days, 3 days. Then it changes, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10. We just have a call that it goes way beyond that. So if you know that the bleeding is continuous and it maintains the same characteristics, then you should treat it as a period. Yani, no fasting, no namaz, no roza, no prayers, and of course no intimate relations, that with a complete intimate relation, of course. But if this spotting may happen occasionally, just spots, and it is not the same characteristics, then this is called irregular bleeding or istihada. It won't affect your fasting. It shouldn't affect your prayer. But you will be required to perform wudu for each prayer once the time has entered, not before, in order to be able to offer this current prayer and all the relating nawafil. Again, for fasting, if this is something off period, of the regular time, and it doesn't maintain the same characteristics, then fast and no problem. Fast and pray. But if it is continuous and connected to the period, whether before or after, then it should be treated as a period, especially when it maintains the same characteristics. I hope that will be helpful to the sister and many other cases like that. Sister Ashhab, thank you so much. Abu Bakr from United Arab Emirates. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ya Sheikh, I have a question. I need some clarification. I'm a Nigerian based in Dubai, UAE. There was this symposium held in my country about the issue of financing people to perform lesser Hajj and pilgrimage by political office holders, i.e. local government chairman, state government, state governors.
Now,
A situation why a state governor will take money from the state fund and finance very selected few people from his state, or a local government chairman taking money from the local government account and financing very few selected people from the local government.
now,
So a Catholic priest was calling the government to stop that, but a senator in my country is saying that there is nothing wrong with that. So what is the position of this in Islam?
let me ask you a question. These loans that you lend to very special people, are they interest-based?
Pardon?
You say that you give loans to very special people, governmental loans and so on. Are they interest-based?
No. I'm talking about people who hold government position.
Yeah.
They hold government position, like a governor of a state, using the state money to finance some people within that state to go and perform lesser Hajj or pilgrimage with the state money.
With the state money?
With the government money, yes.
My question is it within their capacity? I mean, are they permitted by the governing system to select certain people? And there is like a system on what basis we select so and so or such and such person to go for Hajj. Like in every government, they select, for instance, for example, people who are over 80, they send them to perform Hajj for free. The pioneers in whatever field, the ideal students, the ideal mothers, they select people. So if this is a governmental system and it is approved by the government, then it is lawful for the governor to do so, and it is lawful and 100% permissible for the recipient or the beneficiary, whether it's a man or a woman, to perform Hajj on the government's cost. But unfortunately, due to the widespread corruption in many of our countries, it is not the case. If somebody has the authority to select certain people, special people with special needs to perform Hajj, he wouldn't do that. Rather, he would give precedence to his relatives, friends, and sometimes he even sell such visas and so on. But if it is the first case, government approves that, then it is 100% lawful. And may Allah reward you for that. And the governor, or the governor deputy, or whoever is in charge, whenever he does his task properly and searches for those who are truly eligible to perform Hajj, and the government would cover the cost or the cost of their journey, will be rewarded as well. But when it is a matter of connections and recommendations and friendship, then in this case, there is no justice, and the person will be blameworthy. And the beneficiary, when he knows that he is not eligible, his Hajj is not accepted as well. He has taken something which is not his or hers. Barakallahu fikum Abu Bakr. He has called from the United Arab Emirates, but he is Nigerian. Sister Asma from United Arab Emirates. Assalamu alaikum.
How are you, Sheikh?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. Thank you, Sister Asma.
MashaAllah. May Allah bless you for all the rewards what you are doing.
Ameen. Thank you so much.
Okay, now Sheikh, I have a question. I have a daughter and I want to send her for the further studies. It is the Islamic University, Women's College. Is it allowed as per Sunnah?
Where at? Where at? In which country? Is it abroad?
In India. In my
India.
country. It is totally Islamic university. It is Aligarh Muslim University. You will be knowing it.
And her father or her brother is going to escort her to the university, drop her there to the dorm?
Actually, I just have only one daughter. I don't have any other child.
May Allah bless you. Now,
but she will be staying in the hostel, and it will be totally women's college.
now,
As per Islam.
yeah, as far as studying in this university and staying in the dorm with the girls, this is legal, this is permissible, no problem. I was just asking about who is going to escort her for the journey to travel.
Me and my husband, we both.
Oh, okay, fine. Then there is no problem, inshaAllah Azza Jal. We do have a similar system in Al-Azhar University where the parents or the guardian would drop the girl, and then the campus will be in charge for the girl. She's the grown-up girl, but she doesn't just go out on her own and stay late. No, there is a system. So if this is the case, inshallah, it is permissible. Barakallahu feeki, Sister Asma from United Arab Emirates. Arish from the KSA, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the program.
Assalamu alaikum, Ramadan Mubarak.
Wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Arish, and Ramadan Mubarak to you, to your parents and family and the whole Muslim Ummah.
Thank you. Jazakallah.
Wa jazakum.
I have two questions.
Naam.
Then, my first question is, the night before Ramadan Eid, I have heard is very important and we should pray the whole night. Tell me about it.
I'll tell you about it, inshallah.
And my next question is, celebrating Eid or praying Eid Salah in Haram Sharif Makkah, how good is it? Is this? Or is it better to celebrate Eid in our house?
It seems, Arish, that you can wait for Eid, mashallah. You're very excited. How old are you?
I am 10 years old.
10 years old. Do you get a lot of gifts on Eid?
Yes.
Okay. Are you fasting today?
Yes.
MashaAllah. I'm going to give you a gift. I'm going to pray for you and your parents. May Allah bless you and your parents and accept your fasting. And
Thank you.
you're most welcome. And the second gift is I'm going to
the
answer your
bomb.
questions immediately. Special
Okay.
worship on the night of Eid is a fabrication. There are some fabricated narrations attributed to the Prophet ﷺ, but they're all fake. There is no special worship on the Eid night. Last night of Ramadan and the morning is the Eid. It is not true. I don't have to quote the narrations. When we were young and we didn't know about the authenticity of the hadith, we used to do that. But when we figured out that people have made up these stories, then we stick to the guidance of the Prophet ﷺ. As a matter of fact, we pray Taraweeh or the night prayer on every single night on Ramadan and in congregation. Guess what? If today we're supposed to sight the moon and see if the crescent for Shawwal was born or not, then while praying Isha, they said, tomorrow is Eid. Then we don't get to pray the Taraweeh in the masjid anymore. If you have a regular prayer to pray, no problem. If you have a routine to pray night prayer, fine. But there is no special worship on that night. Okay? And praying the Eid in the Haram Sharif, of course, is marvelous. Any prayer, fard or nafl, in the Haram is better than praying anywhere else 100,000 times. So whether it's a Eid or a funeral prayer or istisqa or fard or nafl. Barakallahu fiki. And Sister Arij, my little young viewer, we want to learn something new, which is the word Jazakallah. This word we hear a lot from the brothers and sisters from the Indo-Pak background. It's supposed to be Jazakallahu khayran. So the sentence is incomplete when you say just Jazakallah. May Allah compensate you. What? It is best to say Jazakallahu khayra. May Allah reward you the best or what's good. Barakallahu fiki wa jazakillahu khayra. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Yasmin from the KSA.
Assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, I have one question, but before that I would like to say one thing. Sheikh, I remember you always because a few years back when we were in Jordan, and when I was just flipping through the channels in Jordan, I just got the channel of Huda TV, and there you were explaining about some du'as. And this suddenly caught my interest, and one particular dua, Sheikh, I pray every day after my namaz, and that is Subhanallah wa bihamdi, عدد خلقي ورضا نفسي وزنة عرشي ومداد كلماتي. Sheikh, I thank you very much, and I pray to all of them.
MashaAllah. Jazakillahu khayran, Yasmin. Barakallahu fiki. Barakallahu fiki. I'm glad you do that. May Allah bless you. And I'm also very happy for myself and for the Huda team because you're saying the dua, you're receiving a great deal of benefit, and we too are benefiting out of that. Alhamdulillah.
And Sheikh, pray for all of us, Sheikh. We do so many things in every day. Please pray for us. And I'm really sorry, Sheikh. Sheikh, my question is, nothing much is said about the 4 rakahs of Sunnah prayers that we do before the first prayers of Asr and Isha. What are the benefits of these 4 rakahs prayers, Sheikh? Because I know every prayer has its benefits, but nothing much is said about these prayers.
Okay.
4 rakahs of Sunnah prayer of
Yasmin,
Asr and Isha.
After Isha, it's only 2 rakahs, not 4 rakahs. And there are emphatic and non-emphatic sunnah. Emphatic means confirm that the Prophet ﷺ said there is a great reward for it. He used to do it very oftenly. A few times he have missed it, such as if he was traveling, for instance, and to make sure that it won't look like it is an obligatory prayer. These are 12 rakahs, have been mentioned in the hadith, which I love to quote it over and over and over, in which the Prophet ﷺ says, whoever will observe these 12 rak'ahs every day, Allah will build a house for him in paradise. So this is the virtue of offering these 12 rak'ahs. One of these virtues. 4 rak'ahs before dhuhr, 2 by 2. 2 rak'ahs after dhuhr, 2 rak'ahs after maghrib, 2 rak'ahs after isha, and 2 rak'ahs before fajr. Other than that, it is called non-emphatic sunnah. The Prophet ﷺ prayed them, but he did not put emphasis on it. 4 rak'ahs before Asr, 2 rak'ahs before Maghrib, 2 rak'ahs before Isha. These are called sunanun, غير مؤكدة, or non-emphatic sunan. Barakallah fiqh. As far as the beautiful dua that you mentioned, Subhanallah wa bihamdih, عدد خلقه, ورضاء نفسه, وزنة عرشه, ومداد كلماته. This is a beautiful dua. One day the Prophet ﷺ left early morning for the prayer, and he would sit to teach or for the halqa or the adhkar till past sunrise, pray the duha and come back, for instance. So when he returned after a while, have seen his wife Juwayriyah bint al-Harith, may Allah be pleased with her. She had prayed Fajr and sat there in the same place until the Prophet ﷺ returned. He said, have you been sitting ever since I left you? She said, yes, doing adhkar, plural of dhikr, the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet ﷺ said, I have said a statement or a supplication 3 times that is better than all what you've been saying. It doesn't mean to waive what you've said, but this is a very comprehensive dua in case that you are on a hurry. And also in addition to the other dua, glory be to Allah, and He is above all of His creation. عدد خلقه, Subhanallah wa bihamdi, and praise be to Him, equal to the number of His creatures. How many? Cannot comprehend them. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. Equal to the number of what He has created, of His creation. وَرِضَاءَ نَفْسِهِ, and Subhanallah wa bihamdih, as many times as it would please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمِدَادَ كَلِمَاتِهِ, equivalent to His words and blessings. So this is a very beautiful, comprehensive, and a magnificent dua. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister Asia from the KSA.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sister Asia. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, fine. Jazakallah khair for asking. I and my family are enjoying the tafsir in your program, Blessed Night. May Allah reward you and all the Shaykh and all the Huda channel for that. I have question. Is it fact that Imam Shafi'i rahimullah completed 60 times Quran in Ramadan? And how many times do Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam completed Quran in Taraweeh? And some people here, they are completing 2 times reading Quran in Taraweeh. Is this permissible? Question number 2. What should the person say when Imam in Qunut is praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or calling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's name? And not question but comment, that is, I just want you to give the some information regarding the people of Burma and how they are suffering, because because this news is not coming in any channel, and we Muslims don't know what suffering they are going through it. Jazakallah khair.
Well, Jazakum, thank you so much. May Allah bless you. I have considered really speaking about Muslims in Burma and the genocide there, where Islam has entered Burma in the second Hijri century, like 170, 176. So Islam has not entered Burma just last year or last century. No, it's been there for centuries, over 1200 years. And the United Nations just declared that the casualty and the genocide led to the killing of at least 20,000 Muslims. And obviously, it doesn't really concern the UN and the Western countries, because those who are being killed by the Buddhists are Muslims. While when the Taliban demolished a statue in Afghanistan, the whole world had an uprising for a statue. But human lives and human beings are being killed daily, whether in Syria, whether in Afghanistan and Pakistani borders, and in Iraq, and in Burma. Plain genocide, no comment. And if it is in Gaza as well, then everybody is deaf and blind. There is only one thing I can remind you with that we can definitely do to overcome all of these calamities. At the time of iftar, make dua for your fellow Muslim brothers and sisters in Burma, and Ahl Sunnah who been massacred by the Alawis in Syria, and the innocent civilians in Iraq, in Pakistan, Pakistani borders, the tribal area, and in Afghanistan. This is what democracy, so-called, brought to these countries. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on the whole world, particularly on the Muslim Ummah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save the sacred blood of our brothers and sisters. Those who are active online, whether on the Facebook or network or Twitter and other means, should also share these informations and inform others, inform the whole world, expose the reality of what's going on in Burma. And inshallah Azza Jal, I'm going to request Brother Malik and Osama to hold a whole episode, if not several episodes, to explain to our dear viewers the facts about what's going on in Burma, inshallah. Now we're going to take a short break, so stay tuned.
Can't do that because you do not know what to say to them sometimes. At least you raise up your hand and ask Allah, oh Allah, please give guidance to this brother of mine. The importance of following Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. To follow our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam means you must understand his sunnah. Adinu Yusrun, Islam is a very easy religion, simple religion. So don't make religion difficult to yourself. I believe this hadith is very common to all of us. But the beauty part of this hadith, number one, it started by Umar al-Khattab saying, Sami'tu. Now again, I'd like to share with the brother and sister to understand the beauty of this saying of the companion.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome, dear viewers from around the world, to our exciting program titled Good Answer. I'm your host Malik, and I'm joined by the Imam of America, the founder of Guide Us TV. He needs no further introduction. I think you know who I'm talking about, Sheikh Yusuf Estes. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh Yusuf.
Assalamu alaikum, Malik. My name is Ayman, and I think a lot of people would like to know, a lot of non-Muslims would like to know who Prophet Muhammad was.
We worship the God that he worshipped. And we worship that God the way he worshipped. So we consider Islam to be a way or a deen. Right. Anywhere. Anywhere. But that had never been before. He said, this is a gift, never came before, that me and my followers, we can make our salah, our connection, anywhere.
Hey, sure, you're on the hot seat. I like my seat over here. I'm feeling comfortable. Because he asked you a tough question. He asked you a good question. Can you give him a good answer?
Islam my deen, Allah my Lord, His word Quran.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back. Sister Shamail, who is the first caller on the show tonight, was very concerned about the days on which a woman doesn't have to fast, or actually shouldn't fast and pray because of the period. She feels sorry that she will miss those days and the opportunity of making dua at the time of breaking the fast and accepting her dua and so on. No, don't feel sorry whatsoever for the following facts. Number one, I truly appreciate the passion you have towards fasting and making dua at the time of breaking your fast and what you're missing and so on. al-Mu'mineen, Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, was performing Hajj with the Prophet ﷺ. And she was very anxious about performing Hajj and getting ready and so on. When she entered Mecca, her period started. How did the Prophet ﷺ know? She was crying. So when she was crying badly, the Prophet ﷺ looked at her and said, have your period started? She said, yes. He said, don't cry. This is something that Allah has ordained for all the daughters of Adam and Eve. It is not up to you. Don't feel sorry. What to do? Do everything that the Hajj will do, but do not perform tawaf now. Wait until the period is over. Our most beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, إِذَا سَافَرَ الْعَبْدُ أَوْ مَرِضْ, when the servant of Allah travels or gets sick, كُتِبَ لَهُ, it will be recorded for him and stated for him whatever he used to do of the good deeds when he was healthy or resident. Somebody used to pray at night and pray the 12 rak'ahs which I mentioned, the emphatic sunan, and now he's on a journey. He gets to shorten the prayer and doesn't pray sunan other than the witr and the 2 rak'ahs before Fajr. The same reward for the same good deeds that he used to do when he was resident will be stated for him. Why? It was his habit and tradition. Due to traveling, he skipped that. Somebody got sick and he used to fast Mondays and Thursdays, and now due to the diabetes or the high or the low blood pressure or renal failure or whatever, he cannot fast even in Ramadan. Every Monday and every Thursday, the angels will record for him that he has been fasting even though he's not fasting. You would love to fast during Ramadan and the period have struck. Fine. At the time of iftar, you cook the meal, the beautiful food, the delicious delight food for your family, and they're breaking their fast on the food that you cooked. You're receiving a great reward for that. And make dua. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not disappoint you. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُضِيعُ أَجْرَ مَنْ أَحْسَنَ عَمَلًا وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُضِيعَ إِيمَانَكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بِالنَّاسِ لَرَؤُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. I quoted this ayah before pertaining those who used to pray towards Jerusalem. Then when the Qibla has changed, they have passed away. So they didn't get to pray towards Mecca. And the Jews started raising those questions, those silly questions. These guys were fooled. These guys didn't know which direction should they pray towards. They have missed the reward. They will not be rewarded for what they did. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُضِيعَ إِيمَانَكُمْ. And He called the namaz or the prayer Iman. Allah is not going to waste the reward of your prayer. You've done it for the sake of Allah. If you didn't have the period, what were you planning to do? Fast? Okay, don't worry about it. Occupy your time now with adhkar, with istighfar and dua, even at the time of breaking the fast for your family. May Allah bless you. This is one of the cause which pleases my heart most. When I see our brothers and sisters are very keen to compete with each other with regards to the virtuous acts, to the fada'ilul a'mal, to the good deeds, which the Prophet ﷺ said, for instance, Allah will give the much reward for it, or the set of reward for it. So when they feel that they cannot do it, they feel sorry. Similar to the poor companions, the poor companions of the Muhajirin, who came to the Prophet ﷺ and they were very upset. They said, Ya Rasulullah, ذهب أهل الدثور بالأجور. أهل الدثور refers to the rich companions. The Prophet ﷺ said, how is that? They said, our rich companions, our rich brothers have harvested all the reward, and we cannot compete with them. He said, how? He said, Ya Rasulullah, we pray, they pray too. We fast, they fast too. They have something that they do and we cannot do it because they have the means. They give in a charity, and we're poor, we cannot give. So the Prophet ﷺ said, wait a minute, let me tell you something that if you do, you will beat them. It will be better than giving in a charity. He said, after every prayer, say Subhanallah, Walhamdulillah, Wallahu Akbar 33 times each. So they started doing so. Then a few days later, they returned to the Prophet ﷺ with another complaint. What is it? They said, Ya Rasulullah, our rich companions have heard about the deal that you gave us because we were poor. And they too started doing it. Ya Rasulullah, we cannot compete with them. He said, هذا فضل الله يؤتيه من يشاء. I love this. I love to see the ummah competing with each other. وَفِي ذَلِكَ فَلْيَتَنَافَسِ الْمُتَنَافِسُونَ وَمِزَاجُهُ مِنْ تَسْنِيمٍ. For that, for paradise, for the good deeds, for the reward of the good deeds, let the competitors compete. فَلْيَتَنَافَسِ الْمُتَنَافِسُونَ. When the Prophet ﷺ one day was saying that Al-Jannah, heaven has 8 gates. One is Ar-Rayyan, for the fasting people, and one for the charitable ones, and one for the shuhada, and one for this or that. Each set of people will be called upon to enter Jannah on the Day of Judgment from a specific door. Those who excelled in giving in charity will be called upon from the gate of Al-Mutasaddiqeen, Al-Shuhada from the gate of the martyrs, and so on. I want you to imagine this. You thought, my thought, and the thought of every one of us right now, I wish I can just make it to paradise. It doesn't matter from whichever gate. Even if they throw me from any window, I don't mind. Even if I crawl under the door, as long as I make it into heaven, I'm fine with that. But Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu, may Allah be pleased with him, asked an unexpected question. He said, Ya Rasulullah, will there be any person who will be called upon from the 8 gates? From the gate of Al-Mutasaddiqeen, Shuhada, from Al-Rayyan, from this and that? He said, yes, of course. And I hope it will be you, or you will be one of them. This is the competition. وَفِي ذَلِكَ فَلْيَتَنَافَسِ الْمُتَنَافِسُونَ. Barakallah fikum. Sister Asia from the KSA asked about Al-Imam al-Shafi'i. I will answer you inshallah after I take these phone calls which you've been waiting for so long. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Nasra from the UK.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ramadan Mubarak to you, your family, and the entire Huda team.
Same to you, and thank you so much. Jazakumullahu khairan.
Sheikh, I have 2 questions.
Naam.
Yeah, my first question is about the night prayer. You know, you explained about the Taraweeh and Tahajjud, the both night prayers.
No.
But say you've prayed Taraweeh immediately after Isha, and you've decided to wake up for the Tahajjud later at night. So, is it valid? I mean, do you get the rewards for Taraweeh at the same time for Tahajjud?
No.
Yeah, and my second question is about Maryam alayha salam. The wisdom behind it to call her alayha salam instead of radallahu anha. And I have
okay,
another...
you said the wisdom behind saying alayha, not anha?
Yeah, I don't know the reason behind
there is no anha whatsoever, Nasra, because alayha means be upon her. You're sending a peace. upon her.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
But there is no anha. Okay?
No, yeah.
The other one is when you say radiyallahu anha.
Yeah,
this is
I
for
was asked,
one of the ladies of the companion said, may Allah be pleased with her. It depends on the position of the sentence and the pronoun.
Yeah, I was asked why we don't say radiyallahu anha instead of alayha salam. I couldn't answer.
Okay. Barakallahu fiki. Thank you so much.
Sorry, Sheikh, I wanted to ask you something. You know, my husband called before Ramadan to ask about the international school, but we didn't get any response. And about inheritance.
About inheritance?
Yeah, and about international school. We wanted to speak to you, but we didn't get any response. So is it okay?
Did he collect my number? Did he collect my number from the control?
Yeah, we didn't get it because they said we call later, but we didn't get it.
Okay, please, you can request the number right now, and they got my permit, they will pass on the number to you, and I'll be more than happy to assist you, inshallah, in this regard. Thank you, Sister Nasra. Barakallahu fiki. Sister Aisha asked about, she is a teacher, and she's asking at what age should she put the niqab on before the children? Very good. Barakallahu fiki. If you wear niqab outside or in normal cases, if you choose so, then in this case, the niqab should be put before every non-mahram adult. Okay? So children who have reached the age of puberty should be treated like balighin or adults. I would say beginning at the age of 12, because they understand. Wallahu ta'ala a'la wa a'lam. Sister Asya from the KSA, she said, is it true that Ash-Shafi'i used to do so? Yes, it has been reported Ash-Shafi'i radiyallahu anhu used to finish the Quran twice a day. This is puzzling, and it was puzzling to me. It's really amazing how. I've been trying my best, spending hours every day, and I can barely finish 6 paras a day or so. Some people are saying. The fact of the barakah, the barakah, the blessings in the time. Uthman ibn Affan has been reported as reciting the whole Quran while praying witr, right? And the hadith of Hudhayfa ibn al-Yaman, may Allah be pleased with him, and this is a sound hadith, he said that I have entered upon the Prophet ﷺ and he was praying, night prayer. So I decided to join him. Said, 2 light rak'ahs, no problem. So he entered, and the Prophet ﷺ finished Al-Fatiha and he started with Al-Baqarah. You know Surah Al-Baqarah, almost 3 paras, he recited it all. He said, well, once he finished Surah Al-Baqarah, he should make ruku'ah. It's a long recitation. But instead, he started Surah An-Nisa. Then he expected the same to finish after An-Nisa. He started Surah Al-Imran and so on, several surahs. When you look at it, say, how many hours? Because he said, radiyallahu anh, that the ruku' was in the length equivalent to the length of the recitation. Sujood, likewise. When you look at it, you say, subhanallah, that must have consumed the whole night in 2 rak'ahs or so. But there is barakah. You're not asked to recite it 2 times a day or even once a day. The Prophet ﷺ said to Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As, may Allah be pleased with him and his father, you should not recite the Quran in less than 3 days. This is for ordinary people like us. If you can make it in 3 days, you'll be very lucky. And more is fine. But the least for poor people, for humble ones like us, is at least to get to finish the Quran once in the whole month of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from all of us. We actually ran out of time, but I would like to tell Nasra with regards to praying at night, that if you pray Taraweeh, then you want to pray Tahajjud, do not pray witr 1 rak'ah. Okay? Do not pray witr. Postpone the witr to be the last thing that you offer after Tahajjud. And yes, of course, you will be rewarded for this and that. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from all of us. Happy Ramadan to all of you brothers and sisters. And until tomorrow, I leave you in the care of Allah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allah is my heart's speech. Your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest. as the ultimate